Hey kids, here we are again. Um, I didn't really want to do any live streaming today, but here I am, here we are. So I need to put my official uniform on. I need to wash it. Yeah, no, I do. Yeah, I only got one of those. I do wash it, but I need to wash it again. Yeah, I don't wear it all the time. I wear it when I'm officially. Look at that, Dr. Aficionado's here already. So yeah, so I just wear it when I'm doing, YouTube, and sometimes when I'm not doing YouTube. I almost have a headache. Everybody left. Again, just me here by myself. Me and my guitars, or they're not my guitars, but they kind of are, I guess. Oh, look at that. Grandpa Joe just joined. He says he just received a notification. It's interesting because I was just typing a reply to a viewer, but that wasn't you, who said that he isn't receiving notifications. Which one was it? I don't know. So now when I go back to the comments, it doesn't show the comments that I responded to. Let me see if I uncheck this box filter. Notifications. Let me search for notifications. Notifications. Oh, it was you. Okay, sorry. The name at my end shows up as, I didn't quite, it didn't register it was you. It does say Grandpa Joe without any caps and then 3002. So it was you. Sorry about that, Grandpa Joe. That was me, he says. Yeah, it was you. Okay. It could have been someone else also. So what are we doing? I need to make progress on this. I'm kind of stuck with this guitar. I took it in. The guy is really nice, and he told me that he had a budget for this, a 4-figure number that starts with a number more than 1, above 1. Okay, so a nice budget. Before I even told them how much I would charge, usually people ask, how much do you charge, or how much will it cost me? And this customer just told me his number, and I said, that's actually more than enough. And he dropped it off over a year ago, and I still haven't finished. I haven't taken a deposit on it either, which is a good thing at this point, because it would be really embarrassing. And the reason why I haven't finished it, sometimes it's such a... I have a mental block sometimes. I just can't get started on certain projects. But anyway, I did make good progress on this guitar, and I am continuing to make progress. So I just want to make some progress today. Let me turn on my switcher. Man, I always get this news on the home page. Okay, so here it is. Yeah. So I did install the frets up to the 14th fret. The 15th fret has these 2 holes. We'll deal with this later. And I made this thing to hold it straight, or to straighten it. Because sometimes you get, it's called cupping. So this isn't straight then. So this straightened, overnight. I was doing a live stream about that, and I was really pleased with the results, quick results. But at this point, I want to, just do a little work on it. These thread ends are sharp, and I know I'm going to have to eventually, when I install these threads, I'm going to have to do these thread ends, then I guess separately. But when I do thread ends, I don't like to file it from the, from here to here. I like to do it in little sections anyway. So this makes perfect sense. So let's do that. And I also started preparing the veneers for the neck reset on this one. I haven't done a neck reset in a long time. It's really not my favorite thing to do. I turned down a few, let's call them opportunities. So if you think about how many hours it takes to do this, yeah, I can spend the hours doing something else more efficiently. So, where do I have that thing? This thing. All right. Is this good? It isn't. Not good enough. You see, so it takes longer to do something with the cameras running because I need to look at the camera angles and, make adjustments. What is this? Manual focus? Autofocus. Okay. All right. So here it is. So I clipped these, and now the file cuts in this direction, right? And it's hard to get it started in this direction. So I'm going to first do this. Okay. So this kind of hits the sharp parts, and now I can probably start filing in this direction. I might refinish this neck. So this neck had a very noticeable, it wasn't even a buildup of cheese. I think the nitro just reacted to years of playing, because nitro doesn't always, I don't want to use the word cure because it doesn't cure, but it doesn't always age the same way. And sometimes it gets hard in some cases, and in some cases it's kind of like that sticky gummy thing. You can, kind of like make an impression with your fingernail. So this was one of those, and I had to kind of restore the surface using the Music Nomad guitar polish, which is sometimes a risky thing to use, but in this case it did a really good job. This now is nothing like it was before. But I might respray it, so I don't know. We'll see. Six months ago, I texted him. I said, "Oh, it'll be done by the end of the month." But, he hasn't been calling me. I hope he still wants it. It's his guitar, as in, the one and only. So yeah, friends, I made my first attempt at doing the, well, I'm not going to say it's a weekly show, but the Ask a Tech show on this channel. So last time was about doing setups on a telly. As some of you know. Oh, I just realized I know how to put the comments here now. So what I do is, I just grab this page, I put it here on the teleprompter, and then I push this button, and I see them there. But now, I don't see my multi-screen. So if I mess up the cameras, I might not notice. Okay. So yeah, so the Ask a Tech show is a good idea, I think. And I want to put some effort in that direction. Yeah, this chair spins, so it always messes me up when I do something like this. Today, I was working on guitars, and I almost started an Ask a Tech episode. And I was wondering, so I was working on a Strat. It was actually the Eric Clapton, no, I'm sorry, the, what's his name? Jeff. Jeff. What's his name? Jeff what? The guitar player? He passed away about a year ago. Oh man, I hate when that happens. Come on. Jeff. Let me go here on my channel. Well, now I have a few channels. This channel, because I already uploaded a video. Content. Oh, it's not showing up here. Jeff Beck. Okay. So, signature model, custom shop, and yeah, Beck, Jeff Beck. Yeah, I didn't read your comments. So, I was thinking, should I do a how to do a setup on a Strat? And I was thinking, well, maybe I should do how to do something else. So I was thinking, well, polishing frets. But at the same time, people were texting me that they were running late and this and that. So 3 people were here today. And I had to also do a lot of administrative work. So just shuffling back and forth. So I just thought it was not a good day for that. So I decided not to do it. But I thought it doesn't need to be about Ask a Tech about how to do a setup. It could be how to polish frets. And hopefully a scheduled weekly Ask a Tech show would attract new viewers. And they would only be allowed to ask questions about the topic. Right? Nothing else. And that's to be fair to everyone, because I need to treat everyone the same way. So no exceptions. And that also would encourage people to follow, because if they wanted to ask a question about the nut, but we're doing the frets, well, they wouldn't be allowed to ask the question. that week. So they would need to subscribe and follow the channel to catch the episode of interest. So that would give people the incentive to subscribe and follow. And click the notification little bell thing. Well, I'm looking at the screen here, and it says 0 viewers. I can show you what it says. So let's zoom in on this. So I don't know if you are still there or not. Here. Oh, now it says 1 viewer. But as you can see here, during this time, it said 0 viewers for this period of time. Now, Grandpa Joe says, I am here. We are still here, Fictionado. Yeah, so this is not, you see, it says 1 viewer, but 2 of you are watching. And here it says current viewers 3. So I don't really know how this works, how it's updating, if it's accurate or not. I don't know. It's like that notification that sometimes happens, sometimes doesn't happen, right? And today I was trying to upload the review to Patreon. I made 2 attempts. They failed. So whenever I upload on Patreon, because I wanted to do like the early access thing, right? For people who have signed up. I only have a few people. Grandpa Joe is one of them. I believe, yeah. I think so, yeah. I think I'm right. But I couldn't upload it. So it's going to go live on Saturday. No, when? Oh, come on. Let me see. It's scheduled to go live. Scheduled. See, I don't use the app. The app works July 5th. That's Saturday at 12. Okay. So I'm going to try to upload it on Patreon from my house. But I made 2 attempts, and it went through the whole thing and then said it failed. So it's a 45-minute review. Detailed review with the microscope and the 3D scanner. But I couldn't upload it on Patreon. And Patreon's a mystery to me as well. It's not really clear how it works. So the other day, I wanted to say something. I was talking about the idea for the Ask a Tech idea, and then I said I want to talk about something else, but I forgot. And now, obviously, I forgot if you, the current viewers of today, were logged on that day. But I did say that I would tell you what it was once it comes back to me, which it did after I logged off. So instead of Patreon, or maybe in addition to Patreon, I want to do like a YouTube membership thing. It would be the same tiers as on Patreon. So one reason why I haven't been like really doing exclusive content on Patreon is just, it takes so long, and you know, so it's kind of like a catch-22 thing. Do I first spend all this time producing a whole bunch of videos that take forever to produce, and hope that people sign up for the exclusive content, or do I first wait for people to sign up and then produce because people have signed up? So I think it would be easier to do that on YouTube. And I can still keep Patreon, you know. But the exclusive content that I have in mind would be, I already recorded one video and I need to edit it. So the other day I had a bass, TRBX 305 Yamaha bass, active bass. And I did a review of that bass, a brand new one. But then I was also fixing one here. So I could do free content, which is, you know, let's say the review, and then the repair job would be either exclusive content or early access with a long wait. And what I mean by long wait is 6 months or a year. So some of it would stay as exclusive content, and some of it would be just early access with a long wait time, right? So that would encourage people to sign up for the level 1, which is early access, because it would give people value, right? I mean, if they know that they can watch a video 6 months or a year before anyone else, that's worth the, I don't know, is it like $2 a month or whatever I'm charging on Patreon, or $5? I can't remember. So yeah, I think it's $2 a month. And then there's exclusive content. So with that bass specifically, the video that I already recorded, right? I recorded it, just need to edit, would stay exclusive. Right? So it would be an exclusive content video. And the reason is because of what it is. So the TRBX 300 series, the Yamaha basses, there's a 305 and 304, 4-string or 5-string, right? They are active and only active, and that's really not good. So in my opinion, every active bass should have a bypass switch for at least 2 reasons. Reason number 1, or 3 reasons. First reason, if the battery runs out, you just switch to passive and you keep playing. Second, if the circuit breaks, so the battery is good, but the circuit breaks somehow, again, you just switch and you're back in business. And third reason is the sound. So the active amplified sound doesn't sound good through all amplifiers. So you might just want to switch to passive just to check if it sounds good. And I guess the fourth reason would be maybe you just want to play passive. So you have a switch there. So when this lady brought her bass, and to cut a story short, I was going to do a bypass switch, And I did what every technician does. I started Googling and, searching on the internet to see if there's a solution for that. Now, why is that? Well, every circuit is different. So with some circuits, you have the pickup or pickups wired through a master volume, and then maybe a blend. And then after that, it goes into the EQ circuit, right? Which is why it's active, which is a preamplifier. So in that case, you can tap into that circuit after the master volume and after the blend control. And you can just run it passive to the output jack. But with some circuits, that's not possible because the volume and or blend or whatever switch you have are just part of the active preamplifier. So you can only tap into the pickups, but then the volume control doesn't work on the instrument. And that's obviously bad. So I searched on the internet for the TRBX series, TRBX 300 series, 304 or 305. I'm not sure if there's a 306. I don't think so. And I saw that people were asking about this on Talkbase and some other forums, but no one offered an actual solution. So at first that was frustrating because, we like to find ready-made solutions. But then I thought, okay, if I can figure it out, and I was already thinking about this exclusive content for YouTube, maybe I can make a video of how it's done. And then, that's one video in the can towards having an exclusive content option on YouTube. So I looked up the schematic, and it was one of those. You can look it up, TRBX 304 and 305. It's kind of not quite low res, but it's mid to low res. So when you blow it up, you just get these blown up pixels that don't really show you what parts of the circuit really are. Certain parts, components. But anyway, I just kind of was hoping that I'm reading it correctly, and I was, it turns out. So I found the place on the circuit board, the places, 2 or 3 places, yeah, where I needed to make some modifications to the circuit board itself to tap in and to install a bypass switch. And then there's the whole installation of the actual physical switch on the actual body of the instrument, right? So I recorded all that. She picked up her bass, or her boyfriend did, and she still didn't tell me if she's happy with the results. I don't know, but it worked, right? So it totally worked, and I was able to do it after the master volume and after the blend control for the 2 pickups. So that worked. So then when you flip it, when you flip the switch and you bypass the active circuit, you are bypassing the EQ. Oh, Jeffrey Boyle is here. Hello to you. You're bypassing the EQ, right? So none of those knobs work when you're in passive mode, which also means you do not have any tone control whatsoever. You don't have passive tone control, because an active bass obviously is not going to have also, in addition to the EQ, a passive tone control. It wouldn't make any sense, right? Now, obviously, you could install that. You'd need to drill another hole and add some more wires, but then you would have a tone control knob that does not work when you're in active mode. So, I don't know. You can't have both, right? Although you could. And here, because I only have 4 viewers, right? I just came up with a solution just now. So if you had a 2-gang potentiometer, okay, so the tone controls from the EQ are regular potentiometers, right? But you could have one of those be a 2-gang potentiometer. So basically 2 potentiometers, one on top of the other, on the same shaft. So you could have a tone control, a passive tone control, if you had a switch that could also add that circuit to the passive circuit and then turn it off from the active circuit. So you would need to use a different switch, but it would be possible to do that. I mean, anything's possible. They build robots that go to other planets, right? So I think modifying a bass guitar is within the realm of human accomplishments, achievements. Yeah. But anyway, so back to the story. So I did manage to modify it, and I recorded a good amount of material that show everything, how you test it, how you even figure it out, and how you test it before you modify anything, you know, with jumper wires and the multimeter, etc. So I'm going to make that into an exclusive content video for the main channel. And I'm going to think of other things. So I was thinking, you know, I had that Jeff Beck guitar, and I had to do a full setup on it, right? And it was actually a little more than a setup. If you watch the review, which comes out on Saturday on the main channel, you will see that there were some other issues. So I could have recorded a video, either early release video or exclusive content. I guess for that one, it would be like more like an early release video. That would make sense for the Jeff Beck model, because that's the new guitar now, and people might want to know how to do the work that I had to do. But sometimes I just can't do my recordings because of customers, and you know, that's just how it is. But I wish I had done it, but there was just no time to do it. Because on these live streams, you watch me do a certain task from beginning to end, and that's not always how it works when I'm not running the camera. So, yeah. And haven't been switching cameras now. See, now that button is over there. Now I only see. Yeah, I got to figure something out. I got to buy more equipment, I guess. And I'm kind of tired of spending money all the time on equipment. I have a mental list of equipment I still need to buy for the whole YouTube thing. I want to have a camera here, because now when I work outside, I just put this camera there, right? It's got a long cable, and that's not safe. I already dropped this camera once. Actually, not this one like it that was on this stand, on a flimsier stand than this one. Yeah. And the output of that camera doesn't work. I have it there, so it records on a card, but I can't connect an HDMI cable because that broke when the camera fell. So I'd like to have a permanent camera here that just you know, shows the outside. So I got to buy that camera, I got to buy another monitor, I got to buy another controller for here for switching, and that's not the switcher, but one of those Stream Decks they're called. Or, you know, I have a Stream Deck there next to the switcher, and I was thinking maybe it's kind of silly to have it right next to the switcher. Maybe I should just have it here. Maybe I'll do that. Because now I could be switching instead of using my phone. Oh, speaking of, I got to put the switcher back on. Yeah, there it is. So, yeah. I'm not sure, but maybe this Saturday I will have Dr. Williams here. She will continue working on her guitar. The guitar that started its journey here as a guitar cadaver. Yeah, I just got a lot of work to do, and it slowed down a little bit, and I know why. And I'm kind of fine with that for now. It's because I actually have a lot of guitars, including this one, that I do need to finish. And there is a guitar that's been here for a year. I haven't even touched it yet. It's got loose braces on the inside. So I still haven't negotiated the money on that one. And it's been here over a year. And that's one of the guitars that helped me make the decision that I need to do this live streaming with, you know, charge by the hour option. So I kind of mentioned that to the customer, but at that time, there was no live streaming yet. So it was over a year ago, right? Because I've been streaming for a year already, right? So now, finally, because it kind of slowed down in terms of people dropping off things, I'm going to contact the customer and say, okay, let's do this now. Because now I can finally do it. Okay, that's good enough for now. So here it is. That's that. And now I want to show you, well, I just realized something. I could have both. No, I can't have both things on the screen. Nah, forget it. Okay. So I want to show you something. Oh, this one's still sharp a little bit. So yeah, so this does take longer when I'm talking. So maybe it's not fair to charge by the hour and do live streams for full transparency. I mean, that's the idea of the live streams, like full transparency. But I just can't get tangled up with jobs that don't pay me my time. I can't do that anymore. So here is the little box with stuff for this guitar. And here we have, oh, there's a comment. Sounds like, so that's from Aficionado coming. Sounds like you should hire James Fritsch. I don't know who that is, to help you fix guitars. Who is that? I don't know. Yeah, so friends, here we have this. I am just keeping all these things in this box for this guitar. So this is the truss rod hardware, okay, that I removed so that I can cut this way to clamp it this way, right? I am going to use this also to install the frets. So I'm going to install these frets before I put the neck on the guitar. But I'm going to work on the neck joint before I install the frets. I just kind of, I guess, decided to do it that way. It really doesn't matter. And we have here these. So like that. So that's cut at an angle. You can see that. And that's those are clamping calls, right? So you can clamp these two like this, like I'm holding it now, right? And here I have the veneers that I am working on. So I cut this on a bandsaw. So this is not exactly now quarter sawn. It's kind of rift sawn a little bit, okay, through the veneer itself. So it's at a close to 45-degree angle. Here it's a little thicker, and I can kind of see that. Maybe I can show it through the microscope. Let me see. I need to raise it. Let me see. Can we see this? Yeah. Okay. So here, we can see this, the growth rings. So how should I show this? So here's one of them going from here to here. So it's close to a 45 degree. This is even more, right? Like a 40-degree angle. And here's another growth rings in this. So you don't want this to be quarter sawn, because then it can snap more easily, if that makes sense. Okay. So now I need to work on these. So one piece goes here, another piece is going to go here, and then these are going to clamp them overnight. I'm going to use hide glue for this. And then I have this thing, this tool. So once they are clamped, this is the tool that is going to be used to make the adjustments. Like that, right? That's just sandpaper on a piece like this. And then I have, what is it called? Articulating paper, I think it's called. Dental thing. So I think it's called articulating paper. When they do a filling, where is it? Here. Articulating paper. Here it is. So I hope this shows it right. Yeah, okay. So this is, yeah, otherwise it spills. Okay, so it's kind of like indigo carbon paper kind of thing. Indigo blue. Yeah, and this is very, very thin articulating paper, and it leaves little marks on the veneer when you try to put the neck inside of the neck joint, and then you know exactly where to remove a little bit of material until you get it completely flush. So that'll be interesting. But now I want to put this neck, how about here? And let's see. Yeah, I want to work on the veneers. So I cut this on a bandsaw, both of them. So they came from a piece of maple, from a single piece of maple, two sides like this. And here, I can show you, I need light. This is a smooth side, so this was the finished part of the board. And as you can see, I cut this on the bandsaw. So this side needs to be smooth as well on both of them. And that's what I want to do now. So they are going to end up being very thin once they are in place. And I think even like paper thin. So obviously I cannot make them paper thin. They're going to have to be, safe thickness. And then once they are glued onto the dovetail joint, then I'm going to carve them or sand them down to the proper thickness on the actual dovetail joint, right? But right now, I just need to make this side smooth enough for clamping, because if you don't have good surface contact, then you don't get good squeeze out from the entire area of this, right? If that makes sense. Now, another way to do this would be, I guess, to mold a what is it called again? A Bondo Bondo is that material like an epoxy, right? To this, but you need to put a layer of saran wrap, something very, very thin. Saran wrap is the only thing that's going to work to kind of like get an impression of this. So I'm going to try this way first, and if it doesn't work, then we'll do the bundle method. I just need it to be smooth and have good contact with the flat surface here. I cannot try to make it too thin because obviously the whole thing is going to disintegrate in my hands if I try to do that. Oh, that's me. Okay. Sorry. I thought it was some famous musician or something. I'm not good with names. You are a musician. Yeah? I guess most people here are musicians. Why else would they be watching a channel called Guitar Quackery? All right, so this thing is wiggling on me, you see? And I think I should change this paper, but I'm kind of lazy. So see, sorry, because I'm lazy, it's going to take more work to deal with this old sandpaper than it would take to just put a fresh sheet. But that's 80 grit, and I don't think I have 80 grit. Now, do I need 80 grit? What's on this side? 120. And we have 180 here. Should I do that? Yeah, I think it's time. Okay, I'm going to throw this out. Now, this piece of glass is just a glass shelf. I got two of them. Here's another one with different grits. And I got to change these as well. It's not my favorite thing to do. I found them on the street. Someone threw out, I think, 4 shelves. 2 of them were chipped, and I took the other 2, this one and the other one. Okay. So now I need acetone. Oh man, I need to go to bed. I only slept a few hours last night because I forgot that I had an early morning inspection the gas company. So I did put on my calendar, but I forgot to set up the alert to alert me one day before or a few hours before. So the gas inspector came early. At what time? Well, it was scheduled for, let me see. I didn't even look at the time because, you know, he woke me up. Calendar. Thursday. 8 a.m. Okay, and that's really early for me because I went to bed at 5:30 or something like that. And then, you know, he woke me up. And at first I was going to ignore. I thought, whatever, someone's at the door. And then I was kind of, you know, oh, it's the gas inspection. All right. He was a nice guy, and we passed the inspection, so. Acetone. This takes forever. And I hate the smell of it. There must be a better way, right? With the blades. Or I don't know if this made it worse. You can't use the same surface, right? You gotta fold it. I don't know if I can do this tonight. Where are the blades? So this is why I hate doing this. Okay, let's see. This one's already used. Yeah, the acetone does help because it did soften up the glue. Completely clean. Now, let's put the camera here. Okay, so now I have the multi-view back. I don't see your comments, but there weren't many comments anyway. And I'm not doing the Ask a Tech show today, right now. So, a lot of work to do a neck reset. I'm doing more than a neck reset on that guitar. But, you know, all the shops are like that. I mean, some other well-known New York shops, I really don't want to mention them by name because I don't want it to sound like I am criticizing. And believe me, I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying how it is. It's sometimes impossible to get these things done on time. That's just the way it is. So I know a few shops that are sitting on guitars just like that. Because what do you do with the day-to-day work? I mean, you can't just be working on this. And you know, I got that headstock repair, this one. I haven't touched it since last time I was live streaming this. And then there's that Heritage headstock repair. That's on that playlist that's called Headstock, American Headstock Trilogy, something like that. because then, you know, by the time you collect that money, you know, a month goes by, and you can't really charge for every minute you spent on it. You actually can't. So those jobs really don't pay that much. Even if it's a bigger amount. I think when you factor in every time you got to set up your workbench, or every time you got to kind of refocus on a job like that, there's just a lot of time that you cannot charge for that time. Every time you sit and think, how do you charge for that? You can't charge for that. So this is coming off nicely. And I did turn down quite a few big jobs in the past, I don't know how many months, because I just don't need more of them. A friend of mine said, well, I can tell you who it is, Ian Davlin. You probably know of him. He said, you should only have one of those jobs in the shop at once. That's it. And I've been trying to do that. It's just impossible. Because then somebody else calls for something, they book an appointment, and they have no idea that they have something else going on with the guitar. So here on this side, so I cleaned this side, right? On this side, I didn't put the acetone yet. And I can feel the difference. So I just want to soak it. It smells horrible. So there's still residue left after I scrape it. But then I will be able to remove it with a paper towel and acetone. Yeah, there are some shops that just do rebuilding jobs. So, first of all, you gotta be you need a larger space for that, because you need a lot more machinery. Because you never know, you need to build jigs, and so you need space. And if you only do that every day, and you don't even accept callers that are calling for setups, well, then you only do that. And you work off of deposits. And it's just a different repair shop. Okay, look. It looks like booger. Okay, and now I can finally use a paper towel. because it's still sticky, especially here. Okay, let's do this. Okay, horrible smell again. Uh-huh. Now it's coming off completely. I do need to fold it, because otherwise I would be just smearing the glue around. I see a lot of glue here on the edge. Yeah. I guess that's okay. I really hate the smell. And it's really not helping my headache right now. I have a mild headache from lack of sleep. There. Okay. Okay, so 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 25 seconds into this live stream. Oh, but I did more than this. I also did the fret ends. This is why I titled this one Odds and Ends, just to advance this project, because I knew I was going to do more than just the fret ends. And I am doing more. So now this is annoying because it's slightly wider than this. And you know what's also annoying? The sanding beams that they make, hold on, like these things, are slightly narrower than the 4-inch paper. Why? Why don't they just make it this thing slightly wider? But anyway, I trim it then. So I'm going to do the same here. So I don't know if they make these from scratch or if this is kind of like a ready-made thing and then they just do the radius on the milling machine. I don't know. I'm sure it's a trade secret. Okay, so we have this. I'm just gonna pencil it in here. And I need a piece of MDF. Where is it? Here. Okay. Let me see the comments. Grandpa Joe says you can try a product called Undo. Yeah, like Goo Gone or something like that, right? Takes glue off quickly with no residue. However, it smells terrible. Yeah. Ian is an excellent luthier. He is. He once worked at... I didn't know that he worked at Grand Guitars in Nashville. Good morning, Professor. That's Rubbish Guitar Bloke and fellow monkey. I guess we're all monkeys. Hey, monkeys. Okay, so this and How about anything? Anything with a right angle that's big enough, not too big. Okay, so we have this here. So this is the pencil mark. And now I guess I need a marker. I'll put this here. Align it. I'm counting on this being a 90-degree thing. I don't really know that it is, but it's close enough. That's it. Now, put that tape back. And here we have some grit. And here's my phone. And I need to keep the grit away from my screen. So, like that. Okay, I don't need this. Okay, so the prep work takes a long time. It always does. The prep work is the work. Okay. So, like this. I'm gonna make it flush here, a little bit in, so not flush. Okay. Let's do this. So I don't want to get any grit on this. That's it. Okay. So now it is too wide for this glass, which means I'm going to cut it. And like I said, I want to keep my phone away. So elevate it now. So this blade is no longer good. I'm gonna dispose of it later. Oh, I got these blades here, which I don't need. Okay. And I have this. Okay, so this is the glass doesn't have a sharp edge. It's got a 45-degree bevel. So I need to kind of cut it that way as well. So just light passes until it cuts through. Obviously, it would be better if I could do this in one long motion. Okay, so that's that. So we have this grit here. I want to dust it off. I don't want to on my workbench, and I'll vacuum as well anyway. I think we're good. And these things, they can be valuable. So I just want to blow the grid off and do this. I have a few rolled up already, but you never know what you need. And I hate to throw away scraps just to realize one day that I need to cut a piece like this off of, you know, from this for whatever reason. I saved them. Yeah, that's okay. And this goes here with the others. See? And where's another one of those? I guess I no longer have it. Okay. Oh, here's whatever's left of it. A different sandpaper. Yeah, but I save these things. They do come in handy. And it saves me a lot of time cutting once I need them. Okay, so now we want to dust off the grit. All right. This goes here. And here, there's all this grit. I can even show you. Why not? Yeah, here it is. You can see it. All this grit. So, dust it off into the garbage. And now I vacuum it. Okay. So little things like this, they really take a long time. I wish this hose was longer, but it is what it is. I think it's good. So this takes less time than repairing the finish on a customer's guitar after realizing that I scratched it. And now back to this business. Where is it? Here. Okay. Gotta get into the habit of putting tools away. Okay. All right. So, where were we? Here. We have this thing. And now, I guess, it's going to save me some time, I hope. So this is now a 180 grit. This. So there's a little hump here. See, I need this to be elevated, maybe like this. So I'm going to try to make it a uniform thickness. I'm sure there's a better way. So there's a hump here. I just want to remove the hump first. Yeah, much better. Look at that. So I think it did save me a lot of time. And this needed to be changed anyway, so. How about if I stand? So if you buy veneer, it might not have, it might not be rift sewn the way you want it. Sometimes you buy veneer and it's too brittle, it snaps. And the only way to find out what you're going to get is to pay for it and pay for shipping. Plus, this is maple veneer. A bit harder to find, I think, ready-made. That doesn't have a self-adhesive thing on it. Of course, you can't use the self-adhesive kind for this job. Now, the neck is mahogany, and I believe that the neck block is also mahogany. I'm going to check. I don't have the guitar here, I only have the neck. Now, the best wood for the neck block is actually willow wood, not mahogany. But that's just a Martin guitar, so. It's like if it was a luthier-made guitar, it might have willow. But a factory-made guitar, I don't think so. So this doesn't need to be 100% true. It just needs to be good enough to clamp well. Oh yeah, so yeah, I said mahogany, right? So the neck dovetail joint, the dovetail part is mahogany. The whole neck is mahogany. And also mahogany on the neck block. So that doesn't mean that we should be using mahogany for this. We shouldn't, because mahogany veneer is going to be very brittle. It's not going to have, even after you glue it, the strength that maple has. So these things should be made from maple. Maybe some other woods would work, not oak. Oak veneer is going to be very brittle. I think maple is the best. Maybe willow, if you can find it. So yeah, instrument builders, they might have pieces of willow that they only use for the neck joint. Aged. Little hump here still. So definitely this new sandpaper, fresh sandpaper, works much better than the old one, the one that I removed. I can kind of feel where there's a thick part, so I'm pushing against the thick part. Here there's a thick part. Yeah, look at that. Much better. Okay, so let me work on the other one, and I need to clean this, and I'll just vacuum it. Now you see how I was doing this? I don't want to really scrape it, because then the plastic would get would clog up the sandpaper. Oh. Ask me how I know. Oh, all right. This one now. Oh, I don't know if I have it in me. Yeah, I don't want to go to bed at 5:30 again. So, yeah, so this was not going to be like specific project-based episode on this playlist. So here I put this in this pouch, both of them. I can always continue some other time. But for those of you who joined at a later time, let me show you what this is for. So we're doing a neck reset. And here we have this dovetail joint. So now if we put it back on the guitar, it's too loose. We gotta make it tighter. So these veneers are gonna go like this. And then I have these clamping calls. They're the correct angle. So this one goes here. And this one goes here. Like that. And we can clamp this way with clamps. So I am going to first glue these veneers onto the dovetail joint, trim them and everything, right? And once they're glued onto the dovetail joint, I'm going to use this tool that I made to carve them down to the proper thickness so that this dovetail joint fits perfectly on the guitar. So that's the procedure. And I'm going to use dental articulating paper, which I put away. I showed it at the beginning. I don't want to fish it out now. So it's all going to be live streamed. And my headache is getting worse, so I really need to go. Should have cut a few of those, just in case I mess up. Yeah, maybe I'll bring a couple more. So this is my box where these things go. Everything in this box is about this project, including these two, and the truss rod hardware. That's that. And now we don't want to leave the neck just like this. because it's going to bend as it either absorbs or releases moisture into the air. So we just keep it clamped to keep it straight. Two clamps is enough. And these are really strong clamps, by the way. I don't need to crank them up all the way. They can produce, I think, 600 pounds of pressure. Okay, that is it. Okay, this is how I store it. And I do have a special place for this right there. You don't see it, but it's right there. So just a moment. Okay, I'll do it later. Okay, friends. I think this is the last live stream of the night. The emphasis is on the word think, not last. And no, it is the last. The emphasis should be on the word last. Here. Okay, because I also need to upload that video, the Jeff Beck Strat review on Patreon for the early access members that are so kind to pay me monthly. Okay, hold on. Let's see your comments. Last thing I remember was about Ian. Okay, Ian, excellent. Okay. So Grandpa Joe says, I will say good night to you and fellows in the chat. Safe home, GQ. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, and I will say good night to all of you as well. Or maybe good morning to some of you. Yeah. So I have a bicycle, so I have quite a long ride. Takes me about an hour. But you know, I don't like to take the subways. I feel that if I stop moving, I don't function. So I need that exercise. So every day, about 9 and change miles, so about almost 19 miles on a bike. So almost 9.5 miles each way, right? So I guess almost 19 miles on the bike. This can stay here overnight anyway, right? No one's gonna touch it. So, we've come to the end of this live stream. Okay, my crystal ball is here. That's the, you know, when will my guitar be ready? Crystal ball. You know this, right? So there's a sign here outside. And right behind the sign, there's a crystal ball. So they don't need to ask me. They can just use, you know, it's a self-service thing. Because to answer that question, I would need to look into the crystal ball. So this way, they can just look into the crystal ball. And then people say, yeah, but approximately. I said, no. Anything you want to ask me? Just. And then I always show them this, if they keep asking. Yeah. There's a reason why there's a sign here. Okay. I got other signs, but they don't come off. And then there's 3 signs about the same thing. Because that's the most frequently asked question. So if they ask it once, if they ask it twice, if they ask it 3 times, I just point to different signs. And some people still don't get it. I have proof on my phone. I'm traveling tomorrow. I will be in the city around 5 p.m. today, wondering if there's any chance the instrument would be ready to pick up. That was after all this. Oh, guess what's here? So, I was kind of hoping to do a review of this guitar today. I was too busy. So this is the Indonesian Fender Strat. See, made in Indonesia. I don't know if autofocus is working. I bought it, what, 2 or 3 months ago? It's taking me a long time. So maybe with this guitar, I will make a, public video, which is the review, and then an early access video, which is the modifications. How do you make it better? I could. Okay. Oh, that's acetone. You see? Okay, what am I waiting for? I need to go. All right, friends. Yeah, let me go. I need to go. So, thank you very much. Let's see, 8 of you watching. It says 8 here, it says 9 there. It says 7 likes. I think 1 person just joined. I'm sorry. This is the end of the live stream, but you can still click like, all right? I think that helps you, not me. This way YouTube will alert you, because some people don't get notifications. Maybe if you don't click like, YouTube thinks, well, you don't want to be notified even if you signed up. So try that. Click like. Oh, 8 likes. Look at that. Thank you. Thank you. And you see? And then maybe YouTube will notify you. We don't know how the YouTube algorithm really works, but we can take a guess. Okay, friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And good night or good morning or good afternoon. And I will see you next week or maybe on Saturday. Maybe Dr. Williams will be here on Saturday. So, I don't know. Not tomorrow. I'm not going to be here tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.